STIHL Timber Sports Canada is brought to you by Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. Johnsonville. Discover the taste of Johnsonville. SLH Transport, official transport partner. John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Motomix, official premixed fuel of STIHL Timber Sports, available at your local STIHL dealer. Fitz Toronto, we build better athletes, official trainer of STIHL Timber Sports Canada. And by Elan Dance Art Studio.
Shining here at beautiful Wasaga Beach, Ontario, and we're here at the 2018 STIHL Timber Sports Canadian Championship. We have our final STIHL Timber Sports athletes all ready to compete for those 4 top spots with a chance to move on to that championship final. Lots of STIHL Timber Sports action coming up.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for joining us as we're about to wrap up Day 2 of our STIHL Timber Sports Men's Canadian Championship Qualifier. Last week, we witnessed our athletes compete in the first 3 events. We watched our STIHL Timber Sports athletes compete in the famed springboard chop. They went head-to-head in our stock saw event and went blow for blow in the underhand chop. After 3 events, here's how our athletes are stacking up.
My name's Sterling Hart. I am from Maple Ridge, British Columbia. I've been involved with STIHL Timber Sports for about 10 years now. I originally got involved through my parents as a young boy.
I'm Scott Reed, and I'm from Toronto, Nova Scotia. I got started in STIHL Timber Sports approximately about 10-ish years ago. Followed the sport up through college ranks and coached the sport, and then decided I would jump in and try it on the pro level, and here I am today.
I'm Trevor Schofield. I live in White Rock, Nova Scotia, near Wolfville. I got started in the STIHL Timber Sports competing on Vancouver Island. I kind of got out of the sport for a few years and got back into it a couple years ago, and there I am today.
My name's Doug Armsworthy. Currently living in Douglas, New Brunswick. First got into the sport about 4 years ago in the college ranks, and just slowly worked my way up, and got fortunate enough to come to STIHL this year.
My name's Garnet Peters. I'm from Inverary, Ontario, and I got started about 2.5 years ago when I was traveling in New Zealand, and I sort of took it from there, and I've stuck with it.
My name's Nick Russell. I'm from Port McNeill, British Columbia, and I started timber sports during university and continued on through the pro circuit out west. This series has caught my interest for the last 10 years. I love competing at this high level with all these athletes here and just trying to keep my skill set at the elite level.
I'm Carson Bischoff, born in Magna Bay, BC. I got started from my dad. He's been competing since the 70s, so I've been brought up with the sport, doing it since I was just a kid.
Bill Bischoff. I live in Solista, British Columbia. I got started in STIHL Timber Sports back in 2006. Down in the States, and competed lots from British Columbia.
My name is Ben Cumberland. I'm from Keswick Ridge, New Brunswick, currently working at a St. George, New Brunswick. Got started in the sport through my dad. He brought Nathan and I along as we were born, just had fun with it.
Stick around for more great sawing and chopping action coming your way. Welcome back. We're here at Wasaga Beach. The wood crew is finished setting up. The athletes are ready. Let's head to the stage and get ready for that first heat.
The standing block chop simulates the cutting down of a tree with an axe. Competitors will aim to cut through the log using 45-degree angled marks that they will use as guides. If you miss your marks, you're gonna fall behind. Once you chop halfway through your block, you will switch sides and complete your cut. Time stops when the block is severed from both sides.
Definitely, I'd say one of my favorite events would be standing block chop. I started that in the college ranks and really stuck with it. It's really enjoyable, really fun, so that'd be one of my strengths. And then weakness would be the underhand chop. Didn't really do much of that when I first started the sport, so really still training and learning the technique for it.
We're ready for our first heat. Here we go. Make some noise for him. We have Doug Armsworthy. Doug Armsworthy, always full of smiles. He is happy to be up on this stage. He is ready for this event.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. A nice big first swing for Doug Armsworthy out here today. He's out there alone on that stage, but he is not showing it. Look at him just reaching for that wood. Here we go. Onto that other side. Nice turnaround. He is onto that backside. He's got to drive that as hard as he can. Looking good. Here we go. Making those drives. Look at the strength of those arms. He knows it's there. There it is.
The cut is good.
Make some noise for Garnet Peters. Coming up right behind him, make some noise for Carson Bishop. These guys are both excellent choppers. We're going to be looking for some really wide hits, really strong lines from both of our athletes here today.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Carson first to the wood, but look at the swings. Wow, look at that. He is just making quick work of that. Look at Garnet Peters. Massive swings into that wood. Those chips are flying out, and it's Garnet Peters on that other side. Make some noise for him out here today. Carson Bishop coming up right behind. Here we go. He's got to keep driving. There it is, Garnet Peters. Carson Bishop is still giving it everything he's got. Nice work out there. Unofficial time for Garnet Peters, 31:42. Carson Bishop with an unofficial time of 35:13.
Both cuts are good.
We're here with Mr. Peters, just coming off stage for your standing block chop. How did it go?
I was quite happy with it. I put an 11-hint front in and got just over halfway, and it came off pretty nicely on the back, so no complaints there.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're here with Carson Bishop, just coming off stage for a standing block. Take me through the heat, Carson.
It's pretty much like all my other chops. Still can't seem to settle down and follow my lines as good as I want to, but all in all, it was a good block. Missed hit a couple times, but it cost me some time. Other than that, still can't seem to really settle down and just make a real nice chop. So, here's what it is.
You'll be all right.
Thanks, bud.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, we are on heat 3 of 5 here today with the John Deere standing block chop. Coming up to the stage, make some noise for Scott Reed. And coming up right behind him, make some noise for Trevor Schofield.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And it's Scott Reed first to the wood. Looking good. Trevor Schofield is just swinging that axe. Look at the power from Scott Reed. He is just making mulch out of that log. And he's onto that other side. But Trevor Schofield is right there with him. Look at the big, hard swings from both of these athletes. They are just driving through that wood. We are close to the end of it. He knows he's driving it. Look at these athletes. And there it is for Scott Reed. Trevor Schofield right there with him. Unofficial time for Scott Reed, 33:67. Unofficial time for Trevor Schofield, 34:34.
Both cuts are good. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. And it is Nick Russell first on that wood, but look at the big hits. The chips are just falling out of Bill Bishop's wood. Look at the speed on Nick Russell. He's already on that other side. He knows that speed and accuracy is what he needs. Bill Bishop on that other side. Here we go. We've got a couple more hits here to go on Nick Russell's stand. It is looking really good. There it is. Bill Bishop still going. Make some noise for him. He's got to drive that off, make sure it's completely there. And there it is.
Both cuts are good.
Excellent news here today on the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS stage. Nick Russell is really happy with that time here today. Bill Bischoff, he is going, that wood was hard.
I think one of the keys to my success has been my attention to detail when it comes to competing. Whether it's my equipment, setting blocks up, there's so many little tricks that go into it. Most of them are honestly learned by screwing stuff up. You know, I've done something in the past that maybe didn't work well, and it's like, okay, how do we fix that? You know, maybe the block's a little dry, so you start putting a wet towel on it, or the edge on your axe doesn't work well, so you gotta change it. It's about never settling and always trying to get better.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go, Sterling Hart first to that wood. Look at the speed, but Ben Cumberland is just as speedy. They're turning at the same time onto that other side. They are giving it everything they got. Here we go, driving that wood, and Sterling Hart has got it. Ben Cumberland right behind. Unofficial time for Sterling Hart is 16:08. He wanted it bad, and he got it.
Both cuts are good.
Both cuts are very, very good. That was excellent work from both Ben Cumberland and Sterling Hart. A great event cleared up here at the Steel Timber Sports Canadian Championship. Stick around for more great sawing and chopping action coming your way. Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a jump to that leaderboard and see who's in the lead with those coveted steel points.
The single buck is a 6 to 6.5 foot long one-man crosscut saw. The goal is to cut one 18-inch round white pine disc, or cookie, which is the term used to describe a disc of wood in Steel Timber Sports series. You will need to use your whole body and a combination of power and rhythm to get through the log as fast as possible. This full-body workout is nicknamed the Misery Whip.
All right, in the Fitz Toronto single buck, give it up for Garnet Peters. And coming up right behind, make some noise for Trevor Schofield. Both of these men looking to capitalize on those steel points in this event, making sure it moves them further and further to the top 4 spots.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go, bit of a hang up there for Trevor Schofield to start with, but he's not wasting any more time. There we go, make some noise for both your athletes here today. We're seeing some big, heavy cuts. Look at that. Here we go, it's coming up quick. We have Garnet Peters almost done. He's got to make sure that cut is clean. He has to make sure if there's any wood left on there. There's Trevor Schofield coming up quick. Those judges are going to be looking at that wood.
Both cuts are good.
Good cuts, that's what we wanted to hear. Give it up for Carson Bischoff. He's ready for this next event. Make some noise for Nick Russell.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go, some really great first pulls from both of our athletes there. Look at the speed of Carson Bischoff. He's getting it, but we have slow, really big, methodical pulls from Nick Russell. It's getting down to the end of it. Here we go, Nick Russell with the unofficial time of 15:43. Carson Bischoff right behind him with 18:12. That is a quick heat here today.
Both cuts are good.
Both cuts are good. Excellent cuts out here today.
Okay, here with Nick Russell, just off the single buck. Nick, you won your heat. How did it go?
It was good. Off the top was good, in the middle, and then once I get into some larger wood, it kind of bogged on me a little bit, so I had to kind of power through it and slow my pace down, but I had to pick it up at the end.
In Germany, they call it Fingerspitzengefühl. So that's the tip of the fingers feel everything in the wood, eh?
That's correct, yeah. You got to have that sense in this game.
That's how it is.
Up next for heat number 4, give it up for Bill Bischoff. Put your hands together for Scott Reed. You're gonna see a wide stance from Bill Bischoff here today.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Nice, great first pulls. Look at the speed of Scott Reed. He is not letting any injury slow him down. Bill Bischoff
Bishop is getting there through that. Oh, and Scott Reed is already done. This is his event. Man, oh man, that man does not get up. Bill Bishop there with unofficial time of 14:36.
Both cuts are good.
Scott Reed will not give up on this event. He is here and he is still ready to show us how it's done.
All right, we're on to our final heat of the Fitz Toronto Single Buck. Give it up for Ben Cumberland. And coming up next to the stage, put your hands together for Sterling Hart.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Nice. Sterling Hart a little bit caught up there, but Ben Cumberland is just nailing through that wood all the way mid through down. He's almost to that end, and Ben Cumberland with an unofficial time of 10:26. That is a quick time. Sterling Hart with an unofficial time of 10:95.
We have two great cuts.
Two really great cuts. We have a new national record in the single buck for Ben Cumberland.
We're here with Ben Cumberland, ladies and gentlemen, and having fun is the name of the game. It looked like you had a lot of fun there on stage, my friend.
Yes, sir. God is good. That's the best single buck cut I've put down in quite a while.
Just over 10 seconds, right?
Well, according to the time on the clock, it's 9:99. So, but that single buck saw from JP cuts unreal. Like, that is leaves me speechless.
You're blessed, bro.
You got her.
Woo!
Don't go anywhere, folks. More exciting coverage of our Canadian Championship is coming right up. Welcome back. Let's check in with our official STIHL leaderboard. The Hot Saw is the fastest, loudest, and most adrenaline-pumping event of the day. A hot saw is a high-performance, custom-made chainsaw built from snowmobile and motorcycle engines. The athletes will use this hot saw to cut 3 complete discs off an 18-inch piece of pine. Both hands must be on top of the log before the start gun is fired. Athletes will then pull the starter cord and complete 3 cuts, 2 down cuts and 1 up cut within a 6-inch section marked by a line. 3 complete discs and the fastest time wins the event.
All right, we're ready for our first heat of the Big Green Egg Hot Saw. Put your hands together for Doug Armsworthy. These chains are moving fast. They're about 250 to 300 kilometers an hour chain speed.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Look, a little bit of a late start. He still has time. He still can put that chain back together. Make sure that it starts here. There it is! That's what he needed! A little bit of a double clutch there. There we go. 3 cuts. Unofficial time 31:91. The judges are going to be looking. We're getting a couple head shakes already.
DQ on stand 1. Incomplete cookie.
Make some noise for Doug Armsworthy. He still needs your love out here, folks. Put your hands together for Garnet Peters. Up next on stand number 2, Trevor Schofield. After that first heat, these guys definitely know the importance of making those good, clean cuts.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Trevor Schofield first done with those 3 cookies.
Stand 2. Good cut. Stand 1. DQ. Cutting over the line.
Okay, we're here with Trevor Schofield, just coming off stage with the hot saw. Man, that was a good one, eh?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was a little slow getting to the wood, but 3 in the deck, so I think I was just a little over 8 seconds. So I'm happy with that. Can go a bit faster, but it's safe. I think I'm out of the top 4 anyway. So
Well, 3 on the deck, that's what counts, eh?
it sure is.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready for heat number 3. Put your hands together for Carson Bischoff. Next up on the stage is Scott Reed. Scott Reed made an incredible comeback last time with that single buck. He is ready for this hot saw.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Unofficial time for Carson Bischoff is 11:64. Unofficial time for Scott Reed is 12:09. We'll see what the judges say.
We have a DQ on stand number 1, cutting over the line. Stand number 2, we have a good cut. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Both athletes are done. Bill Bischoff with an unofficial time of 9:25. Ben Cumberland with an unofficial time of 13:03.
Both cuts are good.
Both cuts are good. That is incredible to hear. You can see the smile on both of their faces. Make some noise for Sterling Hart. Up next, Nick Russell.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, we're looking at those cookies.
DQ on stand 1, cutting over the line many times. Stand 2, good cut.
Good cut for Nick Russell. Give it up for both our athletes. Sterling Hart definitely did give it everything he had. He wasn't going to stop until he got a cookie out of that heat.
Let's check in with our official STIHL leaderboard. Now that the wood chips and sawdust have settled on our final events, let's take a look at who has advanced into our 2018 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Canadian Championship Finals. In 4th place, we have Bill Bischoff. In 3rd place, Nick Russell. In 2nd place, Sterling Hart. And rounding out our top spot is Ben Cumberland. Make sure to follow along as we watch our athletes compete in the finals of our 2018 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Men's Championship.